Good evening, Ghana. Tonight, I am representing the Nananom from the coastal areas, the central region of Ghana, precisely Cape Coast. Nananom, we greet you all. And if I were from your region, I'd like to be called Adadewa because it's a name that speaks of power. It sounds like powerful, right? Yeah, this is Confessions on TV3. My name is Miss Nancy, and tonight, a lady came all the way, and she says her confession is something she hasn't shared with a living soul, not any of her family members, nor her friends. She would rather speak to us and see if we'll be able to help her. And I am curious. She says it is a terrible confession, but still, I'm curious. I cannot wait to hear what she has to say, and I know that on this show, we'll give her the help needed. Confessions are brought to you by MTN, everywhere you go. A lady just joined us in the confessions booth, and she says that her confession has got to do with their very private lives. Something absolutely terrible is happening to her in the bedroom, and she's not spoken to anybody about it. She decided to come to us here into the confessions booth on TV3 to see if we could help her. My lady, you're welcome to Confessions on TV3.
Thank you, Miss Nancy. Miss Nancy, thank you for having me. I'm even embarrassed to tell you this.
No.
But I don't know, I have to, because I've not told anyone, not even my family, not even my friends. But I want to trust you and share this, my confession, with you.
That's exactly what we do here. Those that you cannot share, you come to us. We will not only listen, we will give you help. My dear, your story now.
Miss Nancy, I've been married for 11 months now. My husband has had a problem since we started dating till now.
Okay.
The problem is that anytime my husband and I have sex and he is coming, as in he gets to his peak, then he would excuse me to say, ease on himself on the bed. We have tried for him to stop, but he always says it's too sweet, so he isn't able to control himself. Because of that, we have agreed that we would always go and ease himself before we start to have sex. But he will still do it when coming. It may not be big, but much, but yeah, he does it.
So anytime he's having the big O, let's call it the big O, he also releases from the backside.
Yes, please. Because of this thing, I didn't used to give him sex during our dating era because it was disgusting.
It is.
If we have sex twice in a week, it means I have to wash the bedsheet twice in a week. I married him because, irrespective of that, he is a responsible, good, and loving man.
Oh, what exactly do you need us to do for you? What brought you here?
I'm going through a lot because it makes me vomit. Mentally, I'm breaking down.
No.
I don't know whether I should leave the marriage because right now we have 2 kids.
Oh.
So I don't know whether I should leave the marriage or I should still be in it because I've tried all avenues to, solve this issue, but to no avail. I don't know. That's why I brought the issue here so that your resource people can help me.
No. I have heard so many confessions right here in this booth. Nothing comes close to this one. I do not even know how to feel, whether I think it's funny or whether it's... I do not want to imagine. Let's just go into the studio and see what my research persons have to say. But this is something, I mean, enyasem kitwa. Enyasem kitwa. Hey! Oh, I have heard confessions. I have heard stories. But tonight is a confession I do not even want to imagine. I'm sensitive like that. Guys, heard of anything like this? Like, I've not, in Chi we say, maintain in penny semda. Not heard anything like this ever. The closest I may have heard is a woman that is giving birth that may do that in the process. But for a human being receiving joy, getting the greatest joy that a man could ever have from another human being, and doing the nastiest in the process. My lady.
Miss Nancy, good evening.
Hi.
I feel so shameful about this. And then I know how she's feeling now. I feel her pain as well. So I think the reason why she was not telling people was that she felt this is so embarrassing to tell
And it is,
my family members
it?
about this. But then in other ways, I think she could have also made scenarios for people, not saying it straightforward, but finding ways and means to just ask questions, just to sort herself out. And also, I think she should be honest to her husband. Like, she should open up to her husband. They should talk. Because I feel maybe her husband used to do something, maybe gaze him or whatever it is. Yes.
That's what you're assuming?
Yes. So she has to open up to her husband so that they talk about it well.
That thought has not even crossed my mind. I think I'm too pure. I think no evil. Yes, you can pass the microphone on.
Okay.
Thank you.
Ms. Nancy, good evening. You're looking astonished.
Thank you.
From my point of view, I think that both parties didn't do their background checks well in terms of medicals and everything, because if the lady knew that this was the man's situation, she would have been able to do something before getting into marriage.
So you think that it's a medical situation?
Yes, please.
And that can be solved?
Yes, please, because it's not normal. After getting married for 5 years and this was going on. And the
marriage is quite young. Apparently, they had one child before they married, and then it was happening. But she thought that, when the man gets used to her, eventually will stop. And it's 11 months into living together with him. And she says, Abroneso. Can pass over the microphone?
Okay, good evening, Miss Nancy.
Hi.
You are looking so beautiful.
Thank you.
Okay, Miss Nancy, I want to differ from what my sister said, that the man could be homosexual or practicing gayism. Actually, I am a student nurse, and when you come to the health sector, we have something we call corporophilia or scatophilia. So the husband could be a scat or a corpophile. What that means is some people come home. They have sexual pleasures when they see those things. So corporophilia is basically having sexual intercourse, and you see all those kind of things as a pleasure. So the husband could be suffering from.
So he fantasizes with.
Yes.
I mean, for effective communication purposes, please forgive me. He fantasizes with feces.
With feces or filth. It's not just feces. Anything, maybe saliva, urine.
Dirty things.
Yes. So they didn't do their checks very well before coming together. So I would send advice to most ladies that before you get married to somebody, you should know the person more. Do checkups. Ask questions and get to know the person very well to know if you really want to settle down with this kind of person before you do so. Because here is the case, she's battling this thing, and there's nothing anybody can do about it. It's part of the man. Thank you.
Yeah. Now, this is the time that I need to get my resource persons right here into the studio. Tonight, the man I adore, I prefer to call him Pastor Little, but he is Dr. Reverend Abraham Boateng. He is a relationship counselor, and we love Pastor Little. Please come up, Pastor Little. With him would be a beautiful Connie J. Connie J is an entrepreneur, and she is full of knowledge. Sir, it's good to have you. Yes, tonight you're giving me the royal greetings, huh? May I say. Please, ladies and gentlemen, for Connie J. Her first time on Confessions, a very elegant lady. And we are still in the month of Ghana, celebrating Ghana and everything that our nation stands for. When you see gold in all these things, know that we are the land of gold. You see my kente, you see this, you should know that we're coming from the central region. Osafo, did you hear the confession?
Something critical.
Now, what's he been penning Semuda?
Bakono dear maintaining peba Sabe Johnson dear Martin penning Samda, but so we
Okay.
dear.
Now, sir, I mean, with even the Johnson bit you're talking about, please excuse us. We're communicating effectively. And with even that, I thought that it was at that point of pleasure, and even that is not called urine.
Okay. See.
So medically, they don't even call it urine.
Okay. See,
You may.
Basically, things to do with orgasm, things to do with easing oneself had much to do with the pelvic floor muscle area, like
Yes.
the nurse was trying to raise issues.
Yes.
So that is key. Secondly, when there are abnormalities with every creation, there can be abnormalities. So when the muscles there have issues, then sometimes the coordination with the brain as to when to ease and when not to ease can interrupt with one another and can cause issues. And sometimes also some people have the view that when people have been involved in a certain life in the past, the muscles cannot contract and cannot hold again.
Okay.
So therefore, things like homosexuality, other things
That
can
is why
affect-
she is
affect them.
suggesting that
Yeah.
it's possible that the man had.
Possibly can affect the muscles down there. But come to think of it that listening to the confession that whenever he's climaxing,
Yeah,
then there's
that's
double.
when-
So there's a solid and there's a liquid at the same time. There's left with gas that he has to add. Then we have the 3 states of matter.
What's up for you? Oh my God. Now, if you add the solid and you add the liquid and you add the gas, we are dead. I mean,
Boom.
quite sad but funny at the same time.
Yeah. So that is to do with it. So there are some people, and especially in women. So when a woman is climaxing, orgasm, and squirting, it comes. So some call it P-orgasm and the like. There are researchers in areas where some even during easing themselves, there's a limit or a link to orgasm. It's not having sex, but peeing or using the washroom, toilet.
Can give them that kind of sensation.
Yes, sensations, because it's in the same pelvic
area.
muscle area. But the doctors can give us the specifics to that. So what in this particular case is that this young man should know himself, should know his problems, should know his challenges, and address them. So before you go to the high priest, you go to the queen, you have to go to the small room, empty all your luggage.
I mean, according to the lady, he would use the restroom before, but still, so long as he is coming, something else comes. Connie J, your first time on confessions, quite a confession you met, huh? I don't know if I have to apologize, but these are the kind of real stories we get here on the show. Connie,
Yeah.
the little dirty things that happen in the bedroom, especially during intimacy. I tell you that confessions is not just so we look at a particular story, but we open the conversation wide to learn from it. You know, there are times, like Osofo said, you will get some passing of gas. Farting during sex. There are times some sounds would come from not even the backside, from the original palace. Whilst in action, yeah. I don't know how it happens, but it can happen. You're a mature woman. You know about these things, don't you? As a woman, as a man, how are you supposed to feel? How should you treat your partner when these things happen during that wow moment? The passing of gases and other very not so lovely things.
It's a very, first of all, it's really unbelievable.
It is.
But at the same time, it's human nature. It's with us, so we got to accept it. As a mother of 3, if you ask many mothers will tell you that, or nurses or midwives who actually support us in our labor. They will be able, they are able to tell you that when giving birth, many of us actually poo.
Yeah.
Along
during
the way.
the process.
So I don't think, personally, it sounds disgusting, but at the same time, I also have a bit of empathy and sympathy for the gentleman, because when it comes to sex or lovemaking, it comes with all sorts. Some people cry, some people sing, some people bite,
Some people have been crying.
scratch. Oh yes. Some people scratch you, some people
slap.
slap you.
Also
A dear friend of mine was telling me that her husband says, "Radimina menima Jimmy, you know." So it comes with all sorts. So I personally think that this gentleman, first of all, had to go for a medical
Checkup.
support. It starts from there. And the lady, this is not her first time of having this. She had an affair with him
Before they even
and
got married.
Had how many children?
They have 2 children now.
You see, she had a relationship with him
Before.
prior.
Yeah.
So it's not 11 months now. She's
More.
been able to tolerate all this time. And when you say for better, for worse, it comes with a price. And this is the price that you are you are paying. I'm not asking her to stay with the gentleman.
Yeah.
But she, if I may quote, she said, beside, irrespective, I heard
Of
that.
this challenge,
Of the
he's an
challenge.
awesome,
the gentleman
responsible,
is
loving
a
husband.
very loving man.
Yeah, yeah.
And a very
Responsible
good
one.
man and a
Yeah.
responsible man. Very few men out there are all that. So if he's, I would say, pooing himself and giving you the 3, these top 3, I think she should support him by getting a medical attention.
If not for confessions, how would she tell anybody this? And I'm sure she should be washing every day. I mean, recently I heard of an information I discovered on social media asking men to have at least 21 times sex in a month. So imagine that that's
21 times only.
in the month.
That's the average, you know.
Only.
Are we good?
Yeah.
Can you imagine in this situation? And you are saying that your life is hard. Which life is harder than having
my
to
God.
deal with 21 times of joy plus
Cleaning up, pooing.
No, but on a more serious note, the lady, let's ask her. The question is, my lady, do you enjoy your partner in the bedroom, forgetting about these unfortunate excesses that comes with his orgasm? Are you enjoying him as a man? Does he satisfy you as a woman?
Miss Nancy, not really, because he comes like 2 minutes, he has come already. And then, so due to that, I avoid him and then I tend to masturbate myself to, you know, satisfy my sexual desires. Because immediately we have sex, 2 minutes, he has come already. And the thing to start, so I don't know.
Don't you think that if we were very front with our interests, our desires, to have them, and what we need them to do for us, it would be better in the bedrooms?
It really would. I always say that where we are coming from, the Asante syndrome has gone on to our men's head so much. When a woman is actually praising the husband, and many a times the husband will say, "Oh, I didn't know what you say." You know. But you see, I'm reiterating what the pastor just said, that we need to send signals.
Yeah.
It's so crucial in marriages. I personally will say that I really miss you. At work, I will text you and say, I'm missing you, Han, or babe, or my dearest. I've got names that I call my husband or my significant other. Then, if you had had a fair play or a good play a couple of days or a week before, you now also send him a message that how well he did. In the Bible teaches us that a man love your wife and a woman respect
Your husband.
So you now use all the adjectives that she will have, his big head will now explode wearing something that you know that he loves. Also, by the time he gets home, you have actually set the house on fire. But when you've got a 1-year-old and a 2-year-old,
It's difficult.
It's quite difficult.
It's
But at the
difficult.
same time,
Working
try
around
and
it.
fix yourself. Fix yourself. Because you knew or you know what really made your husband come for you. And as
Do
women
they
or as
even
couple,
tell us? They don't. Oh. A
There are
regular
Santiman
colleague
syndrome.
of yours will tell you how lovely your legs are, how beautiful you walk, how lovely you smell all the time, and your partner would never open his mouth.
But then once upon a time, he must have said, oh, Nancy, you have got we've got wicked legs. So
Yeah.
because of that, I'll be wearing a mini dress because I know
Always.
that he admires
gets your
those
attention.
legs. If you can see the way I've actually given my cleavage, my husband loves it. So I'll make sure I will wear something showing my girls. It's so crucial. It's so crucial.
And I'm sure that watching you tonight, oh my God.
Yes, Nancy.
We don't want to imagine what would be happening after the show.
Oh, yes.
You are on. You are on.
So that is what happens that made actually make the relationship go sour.
Yeah.
But when you give the signals out, they know, and it's
works.
a love message. The Ghana for Asante for I am an Ashanti, so I'm actually speaking for my people. Say, or have sex. No, when you get married and you are in love, you make love, as the pastor just said. Having sex is a one-off, be a one night stand. Be
Call it right. We
And only
make
friendly
love.
sex. But really, when you are with your husband, and you know your husband, when you touch in the ears, licking the ears, and money, this is where you go.
Connie.
Do you understand?
Oh,
So
yeah.
you make love. We should have that in
Dealing
mind.
with inhibitions. Do you know that there are men that they know that when you lick their ears, they go crazy, so they tell you, don't touch my ears. Can you imagine?
Yeah, that is like the other side of it, that people have ego. And when the marriage is on a certain path, trajectory, then it's like, don't touch here, don't do this, don't do, because he knows that when you touch those parts, he will be excited. He doesn't want you to know excited. And that is a big question mark, because you have to be vulnerable before your wife, before your husband. And that is why we started by, say, for example, if we are making love to your own wife and she cannot fart, she cannot feel free. There are some women who are married to husband. A couple was in my office, I was asking, said, if my husband is there, I cannot, I have to. I said, Master, madam, you have to make the sound in front of your own husband. It's not a
Release everything.
Feel free. You want to mean so then, if your wife touches you at a certain place, it's your husband. Back to the issue, there was something I wanted to add. There are some women also who have a specific issue with blood and stains also. So it's not just the man in question.
Yeah.
And I know couples who, every time they have sex for medical reasons, there's blood stains. And that
With the man.
With the woman, from the
Okay.
woman, coming from the woman.
Okay.
There's a medical condition also.
Okay.
So in those conditions, it's the same as this man who is, and there are solutions to this man. There are certain types of diapers, there are certain types of disposable bed sheets and others that he
you
can use.
use.
But the
These.
part that, when you asked her, she said 2 minutes, that's the part that, I think that is the precipitating issue. The real issue is not the discharge, the solid state, but the 2 minutes. Because you've been able to live with it during the courtship and dating. You have done one, you have 2 children. So the real problem is
It's the lack of
2 seconds.
performance.
Uh-huh.
He says that really is not him releasing from number 2 as well as releasing from number 1, but the man is not performing. Do you agree or not? Let's take this break. We'll be right back. Now that we are suspecting that there is a medical condition of the sort, I think it would be only right for us to go to the professionals to speak to them if indeed medically something like this has been recorded, and what are the ways with which you can treat it if it's actually called a disease.
Okay, Miss Nancy, so the bottom line is your sphincters, inner sphincters are supposed to close when you are having an orgasm. And so the fact that you are having incontinence during orgasm, bottom line, there is clearly something abnormal and that needs a workup. One may ask, so what is the cause of it in this man? So it will be difficult at this point to point to a particular cause, but there are a number of things which can cause these things. I'm not sure if this man has had contact with medical personnel about this issue in the past, but we have a whole specialty dedicated to men's reproductive health. We have people who specialize in urology. But in this particular man's case, he doesn't really have a problem with an erection. The problem is more with the fecal incontinence. So we might need probably a colorectal surgeon. They deal with the colon, that's the latter part of the digestive system, the rectum and the inner region, to find out, is there any abnormality there? Does he have a leakage? Sometimes we call that a fistula. An extra opening which is connected to the rectum, which leaks the feces out during an orgasm. The unusual thing about this man is it appears he has the incontinence during orgasm, but maybe we need to probe more and find out. Are there times in between when he's not having sex that he has this incontinence or not? That's one thing you have to find out. You have to find out, does he have any, has he had any surgeries in the past, particularly in his inner region or his rectal region? Of course, I'm sure people may also want to know if this, the person is bisexual and has been involved in anal sex too. Yes, that can also cause a laxity in the anal sphincter tone. But like I said, this peculiar case is something that needs an additional workup to find out the exact cause. Because usually when you have sphincter issues, the incontinence is not just related to sex, it's usually not. So we need a further workup to find out. Sometimes people may have even spinal issues in the past. If you have an issue with the spine, like I said, all of this is regulated by the nerves. And so if you have an issue with the spine through which the nerves passes and the nerve supplies the rectal area, then that issue with the spine can also affect your continence. So we actually need a full workup. There are other very rare causes which affect, we call it autonomic dysfunction, which affects your nerves, which can also cause this issue. So this man will actually need an extensive medical workup. But first of all, we have to take more information. We refer to it as history. We have to take additional history, which will pinpoint us in the right direction to find out. So I think I'll take a pause for now, Ms. Nancy, and thank you for your audience.
And please, whenever there is a challenge with you, your body, it's not functioning in the way you know it's supposed to, consult your doctor. The first point of call. It is important, and I hope that this woman is able to convince her husband to go see a doctor so they will get the solutions that they need, along with all the suggestions that my great resource persons are given. There is a gentleman that wants to speak. Yes, my dear.
Yes, Miss Nancy. It has been an interesting discussion. I really love it, and our resource people have been very, very informative. In my general view, I feel like we should let the guy go. But the resource people mentioned one or two that, justifies it all in one ball. At the end of the day, ladies also get that, ultimate orgasm where they piss. Does that not become disgusting to the men? If the guy or the man is now, doing the other one, that one becomes disgusting. But then, like we said, it may be health issues or something that needs doctor's attention. Correct. In practicality, as a man, the men watching, and I think the men here will understand that during ejaculation, the force around that site and the strength you gather to finish ejaculating. I don't know how this is carried out. But then it goes down to how he feels and how much he's into what he's doing.
Yeah.
So again, he should
That
just
is also
take,
a positive one.
Yes.
That the orgasm is deep and
Yes,
strong.
usually
the
it's so
joy
strong
you
that
give
you
him
know,
is
you
out
keep
of the world.
putting, until
He
you
loses
get-
himself.
That's exactly how it goes.
What
It
do
is-
you do? You scream?
I
You
won't-
bite?
I won't
Apparently,
scream.
people scratch.
Sometimes the breath, and so I don't know how his clinches are just not picking.
Yeah.
You understand? I don't know it for other men. I know that usually other people will get the same force at that point. You know, so
So the
he
force is forcing, eh?
yeah, the forces. Even at any minute, even if it's 30 seconds, when this forcing, the force
Forces.
You understand?
It's good to know this.
So
It
he should
doesn't
exercise
matter
that. He should try exercise
whether
that.
it's a 5 minutes or a 30 minutes. When the force is forcing, it's really forcing. Thank you. Yes, my dear.
Miss Nancy, this is very terrible. I mean,
is.
it's so disgusting indeed. But I would not advise my sister to stay in this. Anybody who loves this lady will ask her to go. In a sense that, like, you know, she did a mistake. In the first place, like, not doing background check, no SWOT analysis, nothing about each other. And she knew this was what, I mean, the man was going through.
Yeah, so we assume that when you meet us initially, you're just overwhelmed with us. And with time, the butterflies go down and the energy comes a little.
See, Miss Nancy now is, as she said, is affecting her mentally. And anything that you are encountering that is, I mean, affecting you mentally or psychologically, like, it can harm you or people around you. So this is something that she should really check and make a decision. Whether you have to do something about it, or she will leave the marriage. Because in the name of marriage, a lot of things happen and you can lose, your sense. You can get something
You
else.
lose your sanity.
Yes, Mr.
Thank
Nancy.
you. Thank
And
you.
my question is the man himself, is he worried about it or is comfortable in it?
Now your coming is coming and it's coming along with other things. That's joy.
That's why it's been a while. That's why he's not doing anything about it. That's why the man is supposed to even think, as a man, this is what's going on. My
To
wife
be
doesn't like
worried.
it. They're supposed to even make a move before the wife will even come in. So my sister, I will not advise my sister to stay in this.
Well, now, whilst we are still on the subject, and let's be honest and open here, what are some of the disgusting things, almost disgusting things, that can happen to a couple during lovemaking, so that the one who does not know would get to know, and they would have conversations with their partners before they say, I do? What are some of the most disgusting things? Those you've experienced and those that you've read about? Please pass the microphone on to the gentleman. Yes, the one in white first.
All right, thank you very much. And there's so much to learn here, and I thank God for confessions, for the lady to make what she's going through. Well, I believe the communication barrier is becoming a problem because it's someone you love, someone you dated. I'm sure they've had a lot of love moments. But once the intimacy things started, she's realized that it's still the same thing. So my question to her is, has she spoken to the man? Has she said, you know what, we can seek help from this place, from that place, from that place. I still love you. And I believe something can happen to make our love even much better.
Okay, so we will take your question as a contribution that she should ask him all of these and make these suggestions. Yes, sir, I asked the question. You remember?
Yes, I remember
Good.
the question.
Please.
So, I don't know if I should answer the question before.
Yes, answer the question.
Okay. So some of the
You being a health worker,
Yes.
tell us about some of the most disgusting things you've read or seen.
Some of the disgusting things could be like spit, like the person throwing saliva on you whilst in the act. Or some people also fancy seeing blood. So they would like to give you a cut, like using a blade or a sharp object to give you a cut. They see pleasure in that.
Just because you are coming.
Yes.
You want to kill me in the process.
Others also could feel like, let me urinate on you. He sees pleasure in that. He would like to wee on you. Yeah.
Now I asked that. I'm done.
Yes. There are
I'm
some like
done.
that.
Thank you, darling. But this is information, and you only get this on Confessions on TV3. Yeah.
Yeah, so with the man, he should be consistently taking fluid, like orange, early in the morning or late at night when he's going to bed, so that it can help him to go
release
to
everything
more.
Before he gets into the action.
Yes. Then finally, what I will also advise him to do is maybe an hour or 30 minutes before their sexual intercourse, he can boil some warm water and use what we call bentoa to clean his space.
Bentoa,
yes.
We don't use bentoa to clean any space. The expression is for bentoa nefasa.
To do that, yes. When
Douching,
you do that,
they call it
brings
technically.
all those filth out. And even during the sexual intercourse, if there is supposed to be a feces, it should rather come as a fat and not feces.
This is a show where you get results. This is a show where you get results. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we're wrapping up the show tonight. The woman, is she staying or is she going? The man, what should be his attitude? Because I know that they will watch this show and he will know he's the one we are discussing. What should be his take home? Lady before pastor.
Yes, I will say she should stay.
Okay.
Marriage is once and forevermore. Until death do us part. So they should seek medical help. She is now saying that she's having a mental issue, but yet the same lady is also pleasing herself.
Yeah.
So how could you please yourself and have a mental issue? Can you also guess what the gentleman is also going through? So both of them really need help.
Yeah.
So I will say that Miss Lady, do something about the marriage. Both of you seek medical help for your sanity's sake. So I will not say leave your marriage.
Thank you. Thank you.
So good.
Pastor Ledo.
Okay, thank you, Miss Nancy. And the first thing is that she has to stay. You have stayed. You have two children. Why now? And if I love you, love your dog. I love your weakness. I love your setback. There are people who are married that the woman always, whenever there's sexual intercourse, there's blood, and they are staying. If I love you with all your weakness, with all your setbacks. Nonetheless, we can seek medical help.
Yeah.
And the real issue, I'm standing by it again, is not even the solid state or the liquid state or the gaseous state coming out, but the 2 minutes, and they should work on that.
That's right.
We're wrapping up tonight's show, and it's been quite a confession. And I tell you that the resources we've had in the house today have been very, very resourceful. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. And to you, the studio audience, I truly, truly appreciate you. And to you watching our show tonight, this is somebody's cross, and the person would have to carry it, bear this cross. What is yours? Understand that this life, it's not all glossy nor rosy. There are ups, there are downs. Everything could be awesome with your career, but in your love life, you can be found wanting. So wherever your cross is, if it can be fixed, fix it. But if it cannot be fixed, carry this cross, because there is no temptation that was brought upon you unless the one you can truly manage. Thank you. This is Confessions on TV3, same time next week. I come to you. My name is Miss Nancy.